Okay, so I thought I would make a video here about what I'm calling the dual plenum. And we can see the definition here of a plenum, the fullness of matter in space. Of course, I'm not so much talking about matter here, or even necessarily space, um, maybe time space. But the matter, I'm not really speaking of physical matter in the traditional sense there. No, but I am referring to a fullness in time and space. It's the dual plenum, and I'm going to go backwards. I'm going to start with what I'm calling our plenum, like a personal, every faithful soul before God has a plenum of souls. Um, you can't, we cannot show up to heaven alone by ourselves. I'm sure, our judgment will be alone. There'll be nobody else at our judgment, of course. But what I mean is that we are called to participate with our Lord to save souls, and that He dwells within us, and therefore it must be demonstrated that other souls have been saved by how we corresponded with our Lord. That as our Lord is fruitful, uh, has is fecundity itself. that it must be that we also help Him to save souls through our lives, and we every human being has fallen short of the glory of God, meaning that it was our Lord's will that He save all men, but because of our weakness, because of our inability, because of well, not inability, but our will, it was not insufficient to the task, due to our own fault. And because of this, and it's our combined fault as mankind, um, we have not achieved the salvation of all souls. We've fallen short. Our Blessed Mother did not fall short. Our Lord did not fall short, but we fell short. However, we have a plenum. This is all assuming that we are going to be faithful. We have a plenum of souls. That is the fullness, the maximum, the true end. In the final analysis, we have the number of souls that we are going to help save through the holiness and faithfulness of our lives. And so the goal is to live our lives to achieve that plenum, to achieve the salvation of that number of souls, which is our personal plenum, if you will. And to give an example of this, we have Padre Pio, who said that he wanted to stand at the gates of heaven and he would not enter until all of his children had entered. Now, true, he is a priest. True, he is a miraculous priest. The only priest in the history of the church that we know of that has borne the stigmata of our Lord. However, it's true. All of us have a plenum. We must. It's our wedding garment. It's our wedding garment that we participated in the sacrifice of our Lord as internal high priest, as St. Paul said, and we saved souls Two, we cooperated with Jesus and Mary in saving souls through the holiness and the sanctity of our lives. And so this is our personal plenum. And I wanted to start with that, which is really backwards, because the true plenum is here with our Blessed Mother and our Lord. It's here at the crucifixion that Jesus and Mary achieved the full plenum of holy suffering so that all souls can be saved if they will only avail themselves of this plenum of holiness and suffering. Not a single soul has any reason to be lost. And in the words of our Lord, behold thy mother. This is our station in life, to behold her suffering entirely, completely, and voluntarily giving up her Son, who is God, the Son, to the Eternal Father for the salvation of all men. And the greatest suffering is that men will reject this. Men will reject our Lord's salvation. So much of a tragedy is this, that she is begging, she at Fatima, she begs for us to save souls with her by saying so many souls are going to hell because there's no one to pray for them. And so this is why where we have our personal plenum, and it is born out of the full plenum of the suffering of Jesus and Mary. If we go deeply into that offering, it's like the holy glance that they have between each other. And they dominate. Evil has no place in history of the world. They overcome everything. All evil is overcome. The only thing left, the only obstacle left, is the will of man, contrary will of man. Now, not just the sinners that go to hell, but also us, even us who are found faithful. Our will is responsible because we did not suffer with surrender entirely our lives to them. We had the opportunity, and we literally chose. Our parents chose. That's part of it. Our parents hold responsibility because they did not raise us in holiness, and yet God still approached us and gave us the opportunity to be holy, and we chose the world instead. And our whole lives reflect this lack of correspondence with Jesus and Mary. And so let us embrace this crucifixion. Let us live the Mass and live the Rosary and suffer with them every moment Every heartbeat, every breath, every heartbeat, every passing moment that we can live with them to save souls. And let us fill up our plenum and be devoted to our plenum of souls that we help to bring to heaven through Jesus and Mary. Yes, this is the dual plenum. We join with Jesus and Mary to increase the souls, to increase the role of the faithful souls. Let us be as faithful as we possibly can until we die to increase the role of faithful souls.